again. So we are talking about nouns. Nouns, you know, it's names, so some people, person, things, places, anything. There are two kinds of the noun. We have countable noun and uncountable noun. Here, the countable means it has a formal, a singular form or a plural form. But uncountable, there is no singular, there is no plural forms. But what are the usage of the countable or uncountable? If the countable, singular, I can use a or I can use an. As you know, a start with any sounds about consonant and sounds about vowel. So the plural means s, es, is, and so on. So I have to use some or any. Then I have some using it with the sentence positive, and any I can use it with the negative sentences. Also, I can use any as questions, yes, no questions, like examples. There are some oranges as positive. There aren't any oranges as negative. Also, when I say are there any oranges as a questions. Sometimes we are talking about quantity. Some of them it will be small quantity, big quantity. If we have a small quantity, I will use a few. Example, I have a few friends. And I say here many. There are many windows in this school. So I can also use how. Many with how. How many oranges do you want? How many brothers do you have? So how many talks about numbers, they are countable. Uncountable, here I can use some and any as also with the countable. But here the different, I will not use a few, I will not use a little. Also much is instead of many. Some with the positive, any with negative, but here I will use just is as a verb. Like I say, there is some sugar, there isn't any sugar. Is there any sugars? Sugar, I can't say sugars because it's what? Uncountable. If there is the quantity is a small, I will use a little. When I say, I have in my glass a little sugar. Much also with the what? A lot or a big quantity. Also, I will use much with how. How much? When I say how much cheese do you want? How much sugar do you need? So also I can use how many with uncountable. But how? I will not directly use the word uncountable. I will use some expressions like kilo, liter, cartoon, can, gallon, bar, box, bucket. Like when I say how much cheese do you want, I can say how many kilos of cheese do you want. So this is about nouns. As you know, before or previous, we are talking about the tenses and we're talking about the verbs. The R comes sometimes with an ing, sometimes with the infinitive, sometimes with to before the infinitive. So this is the two questions you will answer them, inshallah, on WhatsApp, and I will check them. Here you have here the opposites. This is just a view of opposites. So inshallah, I will give you the pages about the workbook. You will keep them as your name. Here the questions of noun as countable and uncountable. This is about the first. Here, look what we have. We have the second revision. It talks about adjectives. You know the adjectives. All of you, you know it. So the adjective here, we have comparative, comparative, superlative. So the adjective describe a noun, a person, or a place, or a thing. Comparative describe two or to compare between two people, two things, or two places. Superlative means you will distinguish or to describe one among a group. So how to make a sentence with the comparative or superlative? As usual, we are using what? subject plus verb. Here الadjective it have two kind, short adjective and long adjective. Short adjective means it has one syllable or two. I will add er, then I will complete the sentence. Example, Ali is fatter than Muhannad. Or here, look, I will use more. Why? Because the adjective here is long, means more than two syllables. Example, Sana'a is more beautiful than Aden. I can't use beautiful as er because it's long. How to make the superlative? The superlative means I will distinguish or to describe one among several things. So, subject plus verb, I have to precede or to write before the adjective the. Then I will write the adjective. This adjective, it will be short, so I'll write est, then complement. Example, Sana'a is the smallest city in Yemen. So Sana'a and the other cities in Yemen. Here we have subject, verb, then the most. Why I am here the most? As I am using here more. The most here I'm using it with the long adjective. When I say Sana'a is the most beautiful city in Yemen. This is about adjective. You have also questions on it and a table, you will complete it. The last here, it will be what it's right definitions. You have a lot of definitions here. It is from your workbook. So inshallah, I will give you pages also about it, and then look at it. A lot of definitions. You will keep them as your name. So good luck and answer well.